Hello there. Have you ever wondered why so many great candidates never make it past the CV stage? It's not always the recruiter's fault. It is a process. Endless resumes for recruiters to deal with, tight budgets, and of course, extreme pressure always mean the best candidate never even get the chance to show what they can do. That has always been the case in many occasions. Traditional hiring filters out incredible talents, not because people lack skill or even the passion, but because companies don't have the time or even the resources to meet everyone's assessments. It's quite frustrating for both sides. Recruiters get overwhelmed, the skilled applicants get overlooked, right? It's so sad. That's exactly why Flowmingo AI actually decided to change the game, right? Every problem has a solution. So, Flowmingo has made interviewing completely free for recruiters, no fees, no limits. I was giving every candidate a fair shot to actually show their potentials, not just what is written on their resume, but to show exactly the stuff they are made of, right? Okay, Flowmingo's mission is simple yet very powerful. So their mission is to actually democratize hiring. In other words, they make hiring fair, accessible, meaningful for everyone, both the recruiter and of course, the talented candidates. Because great talent shouldn't be hidden behind the constraints of budget barriers. Okay, here we are on Flowmingo's website. So how does it work? That's the first thing here. So let me quickly show you a workflow. Workflow begins with recruiters setting up an interview by choosing a role, maybe for example, software engineer. There'll be relevant questions with that role that will be set in the Flowmingo website. And then over here, the second thing is the recruiter invites unlimited or pre-qualified candidates for the interview. So that's for the second thing. And the third thing is that Flowmingo AI will actually handle the rest, engaging applicants through video interviews, as if the applicant is actually having live interview with a human person, right? There's going to be an avatar that's going to be acting like a human person. And in real time, it's going to be analyzing their responses and then generating instant evaluations, which the recruiter can actually go back to later on. And then the next thing is that the interviews are recorded and of course available for the recruiter's review, while the candidate also can have access to their feedback later on. And the final thing is that the recruiter will make decisions based on the candidate's performance following a preset rubrics, right? I'm going to show you the rubrics in a while. So that's essentially how the workflow looks like on Flowmingo AI. Okay, so let's head back to the Flowmingo platform. Okay, so let's go to the pricing. Of course, you can immediately know what to expect for the pricing. It is absolutely free, right? Let's take a look at the feature. Interview in 60 plus languages, right? That's beautiful, right? And so is that if you're a Chinese, you can actually interview your candidates in Chinese language or in Spanish language or whatever language that you want to choose. This makes it very customizable. You can go ahead and take 5-minute demo interview. Of course, I had this demo interview and I want to quickly show you how it looks like. So here I am, you can see me right here. And then essentially in the real interview scenario, you're going to have an AI avatar seated here in one of these office chairs, and then the interaction goes on like that, right? So for example, let's listen to the first question.
Could you kindly please introduce yourself?
So it's asking me to introduce myself. And then I went ahead to introduce myself. And then the next thing is going to ask me to expand on that introduction because it was very short.
Thank you, Simpson. Could you please elaborate a bit more on your professional background and what brings you to this interview today?
You see that it's asking me to elaborate on my introduction because I intentionally made it very short. So I wanted to see whether it was going to respond to that, and it did, right? Okay, so that was just it. And one thing you need to realize as a candidate here, and what the recruiter should also know, is the fact that once a candidate finishes talking, right, responding to the AI, he or she has to go ahead to click on this submit button right here. Once you click on it, then that particular response will be submitted. So that's basically how to use it, and it's like you are interacting with a real human person. That's the way it looks. I just wanted to show you this. Okay, so let's head back to Flowmingo side and see the rest of the mechanical part of this demo. Okay, so here we are. Now we are done with the feature, so let's go to sample result. Here we have a sample result, all right? I told you about the rubrics. You can see the rubrics by which Flowmingo AI measures the performance of every candidate. And you can actually choose from the list that they have there. And if you wish, you can actually maybe create your own, and all right, what you want to actually test from the candidate. But the ones that are available here are more than enough for you to actually test your candidate. You can see there social media and email marketing tools. You can see operational task management. And over here, if we come to the top, you can see problem solving skills. So the Flowmingo AI is essentially going to grade the candidate based on these rubrics. And at the end of the day, you're going to have the final score right here, overall fit score. So, and there's going to be a summary of the score, how the candidate actually performs in that interview is going to be essentially be summarized right here. And you can take a look at it and then make your decision based on that. And something else here is the fact that every conversation made between the AI and the candidate will absolutely be recorded. Both the video, you can see the video of this young lady right here, and you can see the text, the caption.
But honestly, we catch those issues pretty early.
A response. So let's head over to the next thing. If you have any questions, you can go over to their FAQ, right? See the FAQ here. You can go through it one after the other. If you click on this drop down button, you're going to see the information here. Is Flowmingo free to use? Yes, it is free. Then let's go to the next one. And then, so these premium upgrades provide companies with advanced tools and insight to enhance their recruiting process even further. Additionally, we offer candidates optional paid services such as personalized feedback and performance analytics, helping them improve their interview skills and career prospect. In other words, this is something that is needed. Most time, candidates don't get to hear back exactly what went wrong. Why is it that they are not preferred? Why is it that they are not the chosen candidates? A lot of time it's very frustrating when you put in as a candidate the best preparation for your interview, and at the end of the day, you were not chosen for the job. And you don't even get to hear back from the employer, right, from the recruiter, as to why you were not chosen, right? It's very frustrating. But in the case of using Flowmingo, the candidate can get the feedback as to what happened and how he or she performed. Even your performance alone, when you watch it again, based on the review that's going to be supplied to you by Flowmingo, you will know that, oh, maybe somebody else actually did better than you. So there you are happy that, oh, you were not chosen, but at least you can improve next time. And that's the essence of it. That's the essence of getting the feedback. You can improve upon what you already have, so that next time you go for another interview, you will hit it, right? So this balanced approach allows us to keep the essential recruiting features free and accessible, while generating revenue through value-added services that benefit both recruiters and candidates. How does Flowmingo ensure data privacy? I think you might want to love this. Flowmingo prioritizes data security by implementing industry standard encryption and security measures to protect user data, including being GDPR compliance. And based on this security privacy, I want to show you something. Let's head over up here. You can see Flowmingo, one of the big news of these days is that Flowmingo is in partnership with Google Cloud. And not just Google Cloud, one of the best security platform in the cloud space, right, in the world, as far as tech is concerned, is Cloudflare, right? And Flowmingo is already in partnership with them. So you can be rest assured that the data of your candidate and your company is safe with Flowmingo AI. One last thing that I love to show you is this. Over here, you can see the saving calculator. Conducting manual interview takes a lot of time, including scheduling, interviewing, and evaluating, and so on. Now, let's see how much you can save with Flowmingo, right? Let's suppose that you are interviewing 100 candidates for a particular job, and then you're going to be taking 60 minutes for every candidate. If you're using Flowmingo, it will save 100 hours for you. And 100 hours equals $2,000. That's huge, right? And you already know that time is money, right? And let's just increase the slider a bit. Let's just take it to 1,000. Let's suppose you have 1,000 candidates, and let's say the time for each person, each candidate is going to reduce this time. Let's say you have 30 minutes. So 1,000 candidates and then 30 minutes for each candidate. So you're going to essentially save 500 hours. That's a lot, right? Compared to traditional way of interviewing. And then take a look at it, $10,000. This is not small money, right? So sometimes you don't know what you are missing until you start using the right tool. That is where Flowmingo AI comes in. When you start using it, that's when you know that you're actually saving money. For now, you may not know you're actually losing money, right? But that's why we are here. That's the reason you're watching this video. So take advantage of Flowmingo AI today, and you'll be so glad you did. And finally, take a look at their clients and their investors. You can see Y Combinator is one of their investors. Then you can see their clients here. You know, a well-known Unilever, right? Prudential. You can see Samsung right here. I love Samsung. Telecom is here. Polyspace is here. FPX is here. Deloitte is here. Wow. What are you waiting for? It is time to also join the bandwagon, right, of Flamingo AI. Okay, I believe you got something from this video. If you did, go ahead and like or share with someone who might need this. Share with any organization that might need this so that we can all save money together and then get the best out of our recruitment process. Now, you might want to ask, why is it free for recruiters and, of course, sustainable for Flamingo AI at the same time? Okay, good question. Flamingo has realized the biggest hiring barriers are time and cost. So they have decided to remove both, right? So company can now interview more candidates without worrying about screening and, of course, the expenses. And to keep it sustainable, Flamingos offers optional paid tools like personalized feedback for candidates and, of course, advanced analytics for recruiters. But the core platforms stays 100% free. If you're a recruiter looking to expand your candidate pool, streamline interviews, and, of course, simply discover great talent faster, this is your sign to actually try out Flamingo AI, right? And you'll be glad you did. So I want you to sign up with my referral code or go directly to the URL that I've linked down below. That way, if you use this, I'm going to personally help you with your onboarding, setup, and of course, to ensure you have the most seamless experience possible. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. And remember, the future of hiring is fair, fast, and AI driven. See you in the next video. Bye.